Can you state your name and how old you are and where you're from?
Elizabeth May, I'm from South East London and I'm 17. I've got 13 piercings. I'll just start from like top to bottom. On my right ear, I've got 2 helix piercings up at the top and then 4 lobe. On the other ear, I've got just my tragus and my ear is stretched to 12.5mm. I have my right nostril pierced, my septum, my tongue, my right nipple and my belly button. First ever piercing I ever got were just sort of normal conventional. When I was 18 months old, my mum took me to get my just normal lobes, single lobes pierced. I later took them out at the age of about 7, I think, because I couldn't deal with having to take them in and out for PE because I was lazy. And then they closed over and I had them re-pierced when I was 12. So they were like the first piercings I ever had. It's pretty normal. My favourite piercing of all of them has to be my tongue. Just because since I've had it, I wanted it for a really long time. First of all, it was something I had to beg my parents to let me get, and it's quite an expensive piercing, so I did have to save for quite a long time. So it was in my head for a really long time. And now I have it, it's part of me, it's part of my body, and it's the one piercing that I'm always conscious of when I'm awake, when I'm asleep, when I'm talking, when I'm eating. It's always there. If I take it out, it feels weird to talk. It feels strange not to have something heavy weighted in my mouth. So without it I would feel naked. My style, just sort of in the way when it comes to like my clothes and my hair, not really. My clothes, my parents are very like, do what you want, you do you, you're not hurting anyone, that's fine. My hair, my mum especially always had a concept where I could have whatever style cut I wanted, because when she was younger my granddad never ever let her get her hair cut. So at the age of 16 she went to the hairdressers, got all her hair cut off and all of it permed as her like rebellious, a sign of rebellion. So she's always been very sort of, she doesn't want to enclose me. Piercings, it's more of my dad's issue than my mum's. I always have to ask my dad. If I want anything to do with piercings, my mum goes, ask your dad. He's very sort of, first of all, his excuse was that I wouldn't get a job. And the way I proved him wrong was that I went out and got a job, and he was like, I have all these piercings, this is the way I look, I have a job, no, what are you going to do about it? Now he tells me I'm going to regret it. That upsets me more than anything, because he thinks that I'm not in the right frame of mind to know what I want with my body myself. My body to me is there to be decorated. That's my idea of beauty. I think tattoos and piercings are absolutely beautiful. It's a way of taking something that is beautiful already but enhancing it, making it even more beautiful. He thinks I'm not aware of who I want to be and aware of myself, which can be upsetting. My septum, actually, when I was 14, I begged my dad, I said to him, I want my septum pierced. It is I love it, it's beautiful, I've been looking up about it, blah, blah, blah. No, every time I asked, no, 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 no. So it got to the point where I went to a piercer's and I was like, yeah, I'm 16, yeah, I'm 100% legal, I don't have any ID with me, I did not look 16. Will you pierce my septum? I ended up getting banned from a tattoo shop because I lied to him, he didn't pierce me. I then went to a different piercer and said to him, look, I'm looking to pierce my own septum, have you got any tips? And he said, yes, I've got, like, he gave me all these amazing tips with, I'm so glad I went to this piercer, because without it, I could have completely ruined my nose and got in a lot of trouble for it. So I went out and I bought a piercing needle from eBay, which they shouldn't really be selling to people just willy-nilly, but whatever. And then went out and got a big safety pin from a knitting shop. Went home, had some Germaline as lubricant, put the Germaline on my nose as lubricant, set up a camera and tried to film myself. Couldn't film myself because it just made me nervous, and every time I was just like bursting out laughing every time I put the needle to my nose. So I turned the camera off and stood and sucked myself up. I was like, you can do this, and I just did it. I put the safety pin through first to know what the pain was going to be like, and then I put the real gauged needle through. My septum is very wonky. The piercing itself sort of dips like that. Piercing my septum, I was scared. I was absolutely terrified. I didn't know how much it was going to hurt. Some people on the internet had said it was the most painful thing I've ever had in my life. Others said I didn't feel it, it was fine. So I knew it was either going to be one end of the spectrum or the other, and of course I was expecting it to be really painful. My palms were sweaty. It took me about half an hour to even get the needle halfway through because I was just standing there with my eyes clenched like, oh my god, what am I doing? Afterwards, I sat on my bath and thought, oh my god, result. Absolutely, I just did that. That was fine. And then I looked at what I'd done to myself and I was like, that's beautiful. After I get any piercing, but this was the first day it ever happened, I get a huge adrenaline rush and I become the happiest version of me that you could ever see. I am very jumpy, I'm very hyper, I'm very like, oh, this is great, I'm having such a brilliant day, which happens now every time I get a piercing. It's like a piercing high, it's great. There's a thing, I actually looked it up one night, I was like, I have so many piercings and I can't stop myself. Is there an addiction? I looked it up in Google and it said steal addiction. I went through, I was never diagnosed with depression, but I believe in myself that I had it. Self-harm came really easily to me. I thought absolutely nothing of sitting with something sharp and making cuts in myself. It didn't bother me. It felt good, it felt nice. When I met, he wasn't my fiance at the time obviously, but when I met my current fiance now, he really changed my attitude to life and made me really happy. If I couldn't go out and get piercings when I was stressed and when I was angry and when I was upset, it probably is safe to say that I probably would pick something up sharp and do it again. Yeah, I probably would, in all honesty. When I'm stressed and when I'm angry and when I'm upset, my phone screen absolutely smashed to pieces one day and I'd done absolutely nothing to it. I hadn't dropped it, it just cracked, and I was like, what the hell? I had to spend £60 money that I didn't really have to spare fixing it, and the first thing I did after I put it into the repairers was go and get a piercing. I was so angry, I was so, it just ruined my day and I felt like absolute crap, and it seems like such a small thing, but it just tipped my world upside down. I was so angry and I just rang my mum and I was like, I'll be home in a bit, I'm going to the piercing shop. And I got something done and I feel so much better afterwards. It's the way that my brain was and is now. So I definitely connect the two. I definitely